Welcome to Finca Live. We're Sharon and Andy, just two people with a dream and a vision of restoring our traditional stone-built farmhouse in southern Spain, transforming it into a beautiful off-grid home and sharing our journey with you.
Welcome back to the Finca, everyone. We're in the workshop. If you saw the last video, we've made these big chunky shelves to go above the unit we're working on. We're building a homemade, bespoke, reclaimed timber kitchen, basically, a big chunky one. And we've got these shelves finished off. Sharon's just going to oil them before we put them up. And I'm going to make some big chunky brackets for our big chunky shelves. I've acquired myself some steel. So while Sharon does that, I shall make a start. Right, so I'm just going to cut this piece of steel loosely.
Well, that's first one done, before and after. Can you see the difference? It's actually stunning wood. The grain is just beautiful. So I think they're going to look great in that kitchen.
So we've got the old press out because we're going to bend these into a 90 degree. That's the plan. And then probably weld a bit of something across, what's it called, that stuff, that concrete reinforcing or rebar, that's it, to make them look a bit prettier. I've got all these bits I've made for the press, for bending things, jigs and stuff like that. This little pointy one that fits into the bigger pointy one there to bend them. So we'll stick them in there. Get my tape measure, check they're in the middle. It doesn't matter too much because they're going to need cutting down once they're bent anyway, but I want to bend them both together first to make sure they're both the same, basically. 30 fraction more, and then aim them sort of squarish. Tying up the jacks. A 12-ton press this, so it kind of tends to bend things without too much difficulty. Let's do it. Alrighty. Let's have a look. See what we've got. So there we go. Two identical, pretty much perfectly square pieces. Right. I'm going to cut them down now to the length that I want on both sides, cut them both identically so they both remain exactly the same. Right, so I've just marked these to the lengths that I want them for the top. and I'm just going to cut these off, cut the tops first, and then cut the bit for the leg that's going down the wall afterwards. So we've decided we're going to leave them long down the wall, conferred. The next job is to just get the angle grinder, the bench grinder, and just clean up the sawn edges. And round the corners up a little bit. I'm cutting at an angle so I don't have the big gap I've got to fill with the welder. Right, that'll do it now. There we go. Excellent. We're on it. I'm going to cut these two together now, opposite ways, make sure it's tight so it doesn't move like it did that time. That's it. Tighten it up properly. Okay. Put my foot on it as well. Same again. Clean the scaggy edges up on the bench grinder. Sharon approves of the design.
Yes, lovely.
That's the result. So they're going to go in there like that. Before I put them in though, I want to drill the holes because I won't be able to get them in the drill to do them. I need to do them a little bit offset so I can be able to get my drill in at the side of them, if that makes sense. So I think I'll do that next. I'll just decide where to put them. Of course I need 2 holes for the fixing to the wall, and then 2 holes underneath to fix the shelves to. I may even put 4 holes in the bottom to screw the boards down so each side of the board is screwed. Yes, that's probably wise. I just need to make sure I can get in to get them to screw them once these are in place. Should be fun. So I've got my square where I want it. I'm just going to use the automatic centre punch to mark them where I want them. 1, and that one there. Come on, automate. That's it. So I've got 2 little dimples there now. I can move these out of the way actually. The bottom ones can just go in the bottom down here anywhere really. So I'll get them done. So the screws I'm using are going to be 6mm, big 6mm screws. So I'm going to put a 6.5mm clearance hole through, make a little indentation, drop a cutting fluid, stops the bits wearing out, stops the bits getting blunt. There we go. One down, 3 to go. So the screws I'm using are going to be countersinks. I've not got any black ones big enough, so we're going to use these zinc plated ones. I think what we'll do is see how they look. I can always paint the heads black afterwards, but they still need a countersink in them. So we'll get them done next. Just got a normal countersink bit in there, another splash of oil. Fraction more. This guard's seen better days. There we go, you can see that. Perfect. So next I want to mark my holes for the timber. I want to put 2 in each one ideally. Helps to stop them from bowing. Again, I'm going to put them on the outside, but I'm going to put outside, inside, outside, inside, so they're even. And these are a much smaller hole, and because the screws are a lot smaller, obviously we don't want big screws that go right through the wood. So I'll get them done next. Right, there we go. As you can see them, I'll move about a bit. They don't need countersinking because the dome heads, they're all done and ready. So what's next? Right, so we've got them magneted back in place. Just go and tack them up, then weld them all the way around. The next thing, they're all welded together. I've just polished the welds up a little bit, just to give them a clean down with some brake cleaner, get all the muck off and get any grease off them, ready for painting. Brake cleaner is great because it doesn't leave a residue at all. It gives a good clean base for the paint to stick to. And there we go, you can just about make them out against the black background, all black and shiny. We just need to let them dry off now.
So turn them over, they're dry on the other side now, so it's the last bit of the shelf preparation, and then they can be installed. Let's exciting.
Well, it's a beautiful morning this morning, a tad chilly. We're forecast to be 26 Celsius this afternoon. We've still got tons and tons of tomatoes. It's past the middle of November. We've still got loads. We've not done so great with the peppers this year, but the tomatoes have just been absolutely bonkers. Right, so let's have a look at that shelves. Oh, Emilio's been, he's taken out those cactus things that were being eaten. There's still a couple left, but he's taken the bulk of them out. So hopefully all the little new ones now that are popping up everywhere will do alright. Anyway, shelves. Look at these this morning. Beautiful. Look how the colour and the grains come out of them. The oil's dry, the brackets are done and made, so they're ready to go on the wall. We need to do a bit of work on them because, as we said earlier, the light's going up underneath them. So we need to run the cable, sort of hide the wire sort of somewhere inside them, underneath them. We'll figure that out in a bit, unfortunately, or maybe not. We're not going to be able to do them today because I don't know if you remember, a few weeks ago we had some really high winds, and Chris and Lillian at Tales from the Cave side suffered some damage, including some of the roof tiles getting blown and moving and disappearing and whatever. We're not totally sure what the extent of it is, but Chris doesn't do heights very well, so I've offered to go over and help him put it back together and assess it all and get it fixed. We're going to take the big ladder with us, I think.
And here we are. Olive picking there.
knocked over. Low-key even. The roof in question is that one up there. There's a couple of tiles that have slipped and moved. It's the old tiles as well. I didn't realise it was the old part of the roof, but we're going to have a look at it. There's quite a few bits on this that are a bit suspect looking. I can get up a bit. You can see there, I'm surprised it's not leaking actually in some places. There's a couple over there in the middle, one at the top on the left. The trouble is walking on it without breaking any more. Right.
Under the roof there. He's up there.
Get everything on the roof first. Last season ball. Right, stuff's up there. I've just got some foam. I'm just going to stick them in place as required, stop them sliding again. The problem I've got, I don't want to break any while I'm up there, so we'll have a look. Oh, don't do that. Below. And again, look out, Dover.
Dover, mind. Dover, come over here, mate.
Over there.
Thank you.
Okay.
Nearly got me then.
Looks like there's holes everywhere.
I always thought it was a cheesy roof. No, mate.
Right, all done. Better than it was. All we've got to do is get down now without breaking anymore. There we go. I've done it. Fab.
Oh, thank you very, very much.
You're welcome, mate. Can I pass you these?
Yep. Thank you, Bob. Go on, boys.
Cement. Two more of the thing.
Hey, that's quite strong cement for you.
And I couldn't get it off, so I was going to tap it off and smashing. Another good job, well done.
Aye.
Right, so we're back at the ranch. If you saw the video a few weeks ago, we had a little issue with our solar, with these inline fuses that were in. They last about 10 months and then they just degrade because the rubbish and stop working. Well, also we've got another problem now. We've got two banks of panels and these are the two isolating switches for them. Every so often I'll isolate one, check the voltage and power coming in from one bank, then reverse them, check that they're all balanced and all the panels are working, etc. Just as a matter of course. I turned this one off the other day and it started smoking. The switch is disintegrated, and funnily enough I've actually bought 3 of these in total, and one using another application also melted and welded itself shut. So you see them, don't use them, they're dangerous. What I'm going to do, I'm going to swap it. I've got a DC mini circuit breaker there. I'm going to put on each of the banks of the panels to solve all these problems. That means I can get rid of that fuse, inline fuse, because this is actually the same, and I can isolate them as well. So I'm just going to do them one at a time, isolate each one, so I can still leave half my panels charging our batteries, etc. Let's get started. Okay, so I've totally isolated my bank of panels. They're disconnected outside as well at the ends of the panels, so I can work on these safely. I've still got 210 volts coming in and about 1.7 kilowatts from the single bank, which is more than enough at the moment. So I'm going to get my new one. All I've got to do basically is run these two into the new breaker, and then run them from the new breaker back into the junction box there. But first I'll get it on the wall and get the 2 top ones in and get 2 ones out the bottom, if that makes sense. As you can see, I'll have plenty of wire at the back when I first put it in. These switches are rated for about 255 amps. That's what it says, with a maximum of 1,250 amps. I'm putting, well, 9 amps through them, that's all, and it's all melting and going bad on us. So yeah, avoid. I'm going to get rid of them forever, but hopefully put some decent stuff in. I'm literally just going to cut the wire, this one at this end, and then just strip it back, ready to go in my new breaker. Wait. Ish, it says. Excellent. Right, I'll get on with it. So after what felt like an eternal struggle, these are designed for 6mm cables, which will carry around 55 amps, I understand. I'm actually using 10 because we like to do things bigger, but it's a right struggle getting them into the box. I've used 6mm coming out, which is more than adequate for our 8 amps current. So all I've got to do now, cut these to length, tie them up there, send them into that box. As I understand it with DC breakers, they should always be fed from the top to the bottom, as they do standard with AC breakers. Couldn't find any information on it, so that's why I had to go down there. These wires will then come up when they're out of the way and go into there, but I'll sort the wires out at the end. So I'm going to get this one wired up now, stick it into there, and then I can disconnect this one and we'll switch over to the other bank, hopefully which will work, and then keep our power coming in while we work on this side. Right, there we go, one side's done. We're back up and running again on that. Just got to sort this other side out now, repeat the process. Super, so I'll get on with it.
Well, I'm loading the cupboard back up now. How many times have I done this? Emptied it, moved it, and then anyway, it's done now and it's in its final resting place. So I'm going to sort it all out now and try and get things into order. Not my favourite job in the world, but it'll be great when it's done.
There we go, all done. Nice and neat, nice and safe. Even this last one, when I turned it off to isolate this left hand set of panels, I could see that sparking down the top. They've only been used about half a dozen times, they've not been on long at all. Not happy, pretty dangerous. I'm going to write and complain, I think, but these seem to be sold on a massive scale. If you got one, check it. Even when it did turn off, it was still passing current. Not much, but enough. So there we go. Anyway, all nice and neat, all done. Super breakers, proper DC mini circuit breakers. Happy days. We can now get on with our lives.
So that's the pantry cupboard, fully stocked. Cleared all this under here, which looks much better, which means we can now carry on with this cabinet here. We can get a proper light in rather than this little 5 watt LED bulb hanging on a piece of wire. Not ideal. So I've had a bit of a digression with the solar, but Andy will be back on it tomorrow and we'll get those beautiful shelves put up. They should look gorgeous, can't wait. So that's it for today, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you to all our subscribers, all our new subscribers, welcome. All our Patreons, everyone that's bought us a coffee, and we will see you on the next one.